Boy, oh boy, do we have an unboxing today. This is Whites by Anvil Drifters. This is the latest one in their collaboration with Seidel in their blood core leather. I'm beyond excited about these. Obviously, I'm a boot nerd, massive fan of Anvil and what Weston does. I think they're obviously super successful, 1 million subscribers, all that jazz. I believe that they've remained very, very authentic and sincere throughout the process. These boots are incredible. The only negative thing I'll be able to say is if there's anything glaringly bad with these, and in that case, actually, that's on Whites. So anyway, super stoked about these. And I also bought the matching blood core leather belt on their scratch and dent sale. So we'll have a proper, I don't know, it just felt wrong to have the boots without the belt, come on, you can't do that. Super, super excited. Oh my God, it's just ridiculous. Sorry, that was just a noisy racket. But we got them out of the package. Let's start with the belt. This is from their scratch and dent sale, so maybe the packaging looks different. Oh, so it's a micro adjust. So you've got this, which is awesome. The micro adjust thing, mixing that kind of technique with a heritage belt, again, is very, very unique. There's lots of modern looking belts that are micro adjustable, etc. But to sort of incorporate that technology into a old-fashioned heritage-looking, oh my God, wow, micro-adjustable, wow. So this is double layer blood core. See, there you go. There's your scratch and dent. And just lots of loose grain, but I'm actually glad it's a double layer. There's a ton of loose grain. If this was a single layer, I'd actually be a little bit nervous about all that loose grain. But wow, beautiful solid brass. Yeah, but the double layer of all that is kind of perfect. They've got this taped off, which is real nice. Not to hurt anybody's buckles protected. It's like pulling off man, I just got to say, I've been having such a fun time making these videos and just kind of nerding out, with other boot people. My videos don't reach enough people to get really negative comments, but I did get one like, why don't you put the shoes on? It is funny, people, and I noticed this with other kind of no-name YouTubers, they'll always find the one negative comment. It's like the comment section in these videos, if anyone's commenting at all, which no pressure, but they're always just so informative, so positive, so fun, kind of just nerding out, people sharing their own stories and stuff. There you go. That's so nice. That's so cool. So overall, to say, just thanks so much for watching. It's really, really fun. Anyway, okay, here we freaking go. God, I'm nervous. I don't know why I get nervous before opening a wonderful pair of boots. There's just an excitement. Wow. Wow. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is just ridiculous. This is just insane. This is too luxurious. This is too luxurious. All right, we're going to get this mess out of here. Here they are straight out of the box. I will get them laced up, but at first glance, blown away. White's boots just make majestic boots. I've just their hand welted line is just so special to me. And we live in a pretty weird world where there's a guy on YouTube who's like, hey, I'll cut boots apart. And then he does that. It's a runaway train. Everyone's like, yeah, I would love to see what's in there. And he becomes super successful and then uses that success to just make boots that get him going, that excite him. And that's what this is, collaborating with a very, very old American company in a very old-fashioned way. He's really getting away with doing these very niche, passion-driven projects by, it's just really special. Yeah, they feel naked. I gotta lace them up, but real quick, there's a little, these, oh, here we go, baby. Here's the boot pocket. That is so cool, the knife pocket, the sheath. Wow. Wow. This is scary because I can ruin my pair of boots. But I'm going to do that eventually. Not today, but I'll get that on there. Kilties. These kind of need the kilties. I'm not a big kiltie guy. These boots are robust enough. I'm not going to use these for super heavy duty work. Maybe I will, but they're just too cool. I don't know. But they feel like they're begging for the kilties. You got the smaller kilties too. Awesome. I'm going to get them laced up, and we'll be back, and they'll finally look like boots. Okay, my God, that took a while to lace up. These are my first, I think these are 12-inch White's boots, and I only have 10-inch White's boots. And just go over some specs. So we've got a hand-welted stitch and then a regular stitch-down construction. These are a very, very unique combination stitch-down welted construction. As far as I know, White's Boots is the only company really doing it in the U.S. anymore. They've got a slightly lowered leather heel stack. And obviously, yeah, you got the blood core leather. 5 eyelets, 5 speed hooks, or is that 6 speed hook? Well, I'm no good at counting. 6 speed hooks, my God. What last are these on? I don't know. I think the smoke jumper last. I could be wrong. Or 55 last. But yeah, just these being hand welted is super duper special. My God, look at that. I mean, that's a handsome pair. Yeah, my goodness. When I look at these boots, I'm just thrilled. I am overjoyed. I'm blown away. I'm impressed. Let's talk about the design for a minute. So basically, Weston took an old Packer style boot, gave it a non-Packer last toe, so slightly rounded toe, soft toe by the way, and then pulled the heel down just a bit. Okay. So what you get is just a really, really, really well proportioned White's Packer boot. I'm gonna go grab my White's Hawthorne Packers for a minute. Okay, here are the White's Hawthorne Packers, and I'll do a video of these, but just to compare, let's compare the heel for a minute. Higher, more sloped heel. Okay, these don't have that pointy Packer toe, but again, that's actually quite round. This is like a almost squared off tapered toe. But I'll do a video on these eventually, because I sure do like them. Yeah, enough of those. But that's a great example of White's boots history. These are Goodyear welted, just a simple welt, leather stacked heel, very much a Cuban cowboy heel, and there you go. There's that vintage Hawthorne Explorer. So maybe these aren't quite the Packers, but to me they are Packer boots, but they don't have the pointed Packer toe. Okay, back to these. Weston Rose Anvil took inspiration from his own vintage pair of White's Packers and just kind of made them a little bit more approachable. Approachable without sacrificing any quality. I guess you sacrifice a half an inch. Yeah. These are wild looking boots. I bet if my gal sees these, she'll be like, oh, those are pirate boots. The cool thing though about all White's boots is that they just break in, and then before you know it, they just look like a kind of a regular pair of boots. You kick them around. Man, Love their backstays. Yeah, this is not it's not supposed to be a perfect leather. Absolutely stunning craftsmanship, though. Yeah, these are, I guess I have a few pairs of whites by now, and they're all soft toe. And they're just truly, truly majestic. Would have been cool to have the vintage logo on these. For this colorway, that white's logo makes a lot of sense, but there's something about this design. Maybe if you had them in the initial brown color, like that should be the vintage logo. Maybe in the future they will make vintage logo. But yeah, these are hand welted, as you know, and they're just so special. They're a really special pair of boots. I'm not a big black boot guy, but these are gonna change that because I'm gonna wear these a lot. I freaking love these. So yeah, check them out. I don't know if they're available now, but I'm sure they'll be available again, probably in a cooler color, a different color, or whatever. But yeah, super grateful to Rose Anvil for doing what they do, and hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you in the next one.